Now, the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has raised concerns about terrorist groups advancing in Africa. Speaking at the opening of the high-level conference of heads of counter-terrorism, Guterres stressed that supporting African countries to prevent and counter the threats must be a global priority. Guterres said Al-Qaeda and ISIL have continued to exploit social grievances and gender stereotypes to inspire lone actors and co-opt other groups.
More resources need to be marshaled towards addressing the grievances that terrorists exploit, standing up to hate speech and discrediting terrorist narratives. And victims and survivors have a key role to play. Youth should also be at the center of these efforts.
And joining us is Martin Ewe, Transnational Organized Crime Regional Observatory Coordinator for Southern Africa at the Institute for Security Studies. Thank you very much, Martin, for your time. So the UN Secretary-General raises a very crucial point: youth to be at the center of counter-terrorism measures. How important is this in dealing with insecurity in Africa?
Of course, it's a factual statement because if you look at terrorism today in Africa or elsewhere, it's been dominated by the youth. So if you have the same youth to lead the counterterrorism effort, I think you are basically telling them to abandon the trade that they know so much. And I think there is no other effective manner to deal with counterterrorism or to deal with terrorism without through the horse's own mouth. So using the youth themselves, to stop terrorists, I think it's an effective measure. The Secretary General was speaking there from experience, knowing what's going on around the continent, and the fact that our youth have been primarily the victim and also the actors who have been involved in terrorist activities.
So there have been various military interventions in the Sahel, yet ISIL-affiliated groups appear to be gaining ground. Is this an indicator that the military approach to security is not working?
I think we've said it over and over again. It has become a song, a famous song now in Africa and I believe elsewhere, that the military solution cannot work. It has not worked anywhere. It will not work in Africa. So when countries react to terrorism through military, they are only delaying or even causing more havoc, as we've seen in many cases. There is no single situation that we can say where the military has successfully resolved a terrorist situation. So that doesn't exist. So we still doubt, why is it that the immediate reflexes of state to terrorist activities is the use of the military? We understand, of course, there's no way you can successfully resolve the terrorist problem without having to neutralize some of the threats, through the military solution. But it is only a tiny part of a comprehensive solution for terrorist activities. So therefore, our states are only being stubborn by insisting that the military solution is the only solution, because it is the most dramatic solution. It is one that it's very visible. Everyone sees it. They say, okay, that's a powerful state. They have powerful weapons. But on the ground, it has no impact. In the Sahel that you have mentioned, which has seen everything, the international community has deployed all sorts of arms. The state themselves have tried, but nothing has worked. That means we need to look for solutions elsewhere.
Okay, so we've seen France withdrawing its troops now from the Sahel, and perhaps this is going to provide the international community the opportunity to take a less, militaristic approach, so to speak. So what are the counter-terrorism measures should the international community put in place at this point?
Look, we need to be addressing the root causes of the problem, and I don't think that the French deployment is an opportunity for anyone. And I don't think that, except the French are replacing their military with negotiators, with mediators, people who can speak to the locals, can talk to those who are carrying arms, those who are committing these terrorist activities. Then I would say probably it's an opportunity. But if they are just leaving a vacuum there, without any solution, without the political dialogue ongoing, without any measure in place to solve the problem, to address the root causes of terrorism in the Sahel, then I don't think that it's an opportunity. It's a hazard that we are creating, because it could lead to even more deadly humanitarian conditions on the ground.